Homomorphic formation, intelligence of everyday life objects. I hope everyone has excited and collected enough image for today's exercise. My name is Sema Alaçam. And we are gonna start with Can Uzun today. I will talk very short. Today, we are planning to make an introduction to Google Colab.
Recording, okay.
Welcome, Ayşegül Hocam. After introducing the simple interface elements and how to drive into Google Colab, we are planning to continue with training deep learning model on Google Colab. And there will be one assignment which most probably will take approximately, and depending on your data and your accessibility to the internet, it would take 12 hours as planned. So I think most of you are familiar with Phyton, right? Or Google Colab, you have heard it before applying to the workshop.
Yes.
So is there anyone who has experience in using Colab among the participants?
I just tried last summer as a workshop with the Özgün Balaban in DigitalFUTURES.
Okay.
Just all.
Is there anyone who has some experience in opening Colab? Or let's ask, do you familiar with Google Drive and other Google applications? Google Calendar, Google Drive, Drawing.io.
I used before I do some work on this platform.
Mm-hmm. So Google Colab is a cloud-based platform for instant coding. It has been developed for AI applications and support the AI applications through Google cloud connection. It has first introduced in 5 years ago, 2017. The logic it works is quite simple. Writing code, after typing the code, executing it, running it, and leaving it in the cloud. So, starting very simple, Google Colab, more information about Google Colab is available in the link shown above. But while using, we need to use Google Drive. And it would be appreciated if you open a folder in your Google Drive and rename it, as you will find it easily later. And then in the Google Drive, it is possible to continue while opening a new collaboratory element, a notebook, and opening the simple Python coding environment through opening a notebook. So simply it is like that in your Google Drive. If you just open a new Google Collaboratory, if you select this item, the interface, simple interface, coding interface of Colab will be opened. So when we open this interface, till now, is everything clear for all? Like we have three things to take note or remember: Google Drive, opening a new folder, and opening a new notebook element. After opening this notebook, coding or texting, we have two options in the interface. As you can see here, plus code or plus text. Each time, whenever we click this code or text option, a new component comes into the screen. And of course, if you just write there, print line, write some code, and then press to the play button, we can start to get responses. So, but before or at the same time, there might be some manipulations in the setting. One of them is the recommended one. In the runtime tab, under the runtime type, selecting GPU as a hardware accelerator. This means using or utilizing remote devices to like make your code work using cloud GPU systems. And what else as a starting? Very soon, John will introduce the interface and details. Let's repeat these steps. In the Google Drive, we are opening a new folder and then a new notebook. Google Collaboratory. And then you are encouraged to rename your file. You can rename as you like. After renaming, it is ready for typing simple codes. And in this coding, you can write line by line and then execute only this cell. Or it is possible to execute all the code. What does execute mean? Converting these texts into the computer machine language, low-level language, and interpreting or translating this code, this text, to the computer environment. If you would like to connect Google Colab with your Google Gmail account, once you are encouraged to write from keyword, google.colab, and then import drive, drive.mount, and content drive. This means when we execute this code, a link will pop up and it will ask for permission to connect your Google Drive and Colab account. Here in this code, we see some, in all the page, we see some words colored in, have different colors. Is there anyone or any idea about this use of different colors. Why text has different colors? Just for aesthetic reasons, or what do you think? Any comments?
As a function?
Function might be, and it automatically changed the color. Why those colors might be different?
Wrong syntax or something.
Do you have any like initial intuition about it? Some like, for example, the parts in quotation are the same. From and import has same color. So any idea about the meaning of this? No. Yes.
So different color denote different type of syntax, like
Exactly.
if something is a data type or if it's a function.
Exactly. So it correlates to type of the data function, or let's say these are predefined structures as a part of the syntax of Python, and each compiler can assign different colors. So Google Colab just simply selected those colors. So when we see there's a similarity between the same color. So, of course, it is also possible to download the online data or import the required library each time. For downloading data from internet, you can use this keyword and type the exact web address, not this one, the long and including HTTP, what else, whatever it is. And then if you just indicate an address in your Google Drive, it will copy, download the data directly, the folder you give. And also for importing libraries, import keyword is used. Here, apart from importing some libraries, in each application it changed. Apart from importing libraries, we are giving an object. This name can change, but the name of the library stays same. Okay, import library as the object name you give. Simply the very simple starting is that. And maybe we can continue with the an application itself, and with Can.
Thank you, Sema Hocam. Then I can start with the application side. I'm sharing right now my screen. Okay. And before continue with this, sorry for this, I want to open my drive first of all to show you how to start. As Sema Hoca explained, I will be creating a Colab file, but I want to select my drive file for this workshop too. It must be somewhere here. Yes, it's here. First of all, you have to open a Colab file from here. You can simply right click here and you can find this Collaboratory, Google Collaboratory app. But if you do not have this, you can go from the more application and you can just find it here in the application part, but you have to install it, okay? Do not forget. If you cannot see here, it means that you didn't install the Colab. So once you install the Colab app inside your environment, you can directly open a new Colab. Right now, actually, I will be briefly explaining how to use Colab environment with Python. I will be showing you the interface a little. Just want to arrange my screen. Okay. Okay. So right now, I will be giving some brief explanation for each of the different functional arrangements in the coding, maybe the syntax about the semantic, what means the functions, what kind of different order can be listed. I will be giving all the things from scratch. And after I create one line of code, I will just wait for you to try for 3 minutes, not more than 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Just try to follow me. If you have some problems, just you can ask me. But it will be just a brief explanation of Python coding on Colab. Colab is for Python coding, by the way. For another programming language, still it is developing, I guess, as far as I know. So once you open your Colab environment, the first thing that you can do is naming your Colab file, tutorial. Okay, tutorial 1, for example. And then, as again, Sema Hoca said, I will be going to edit, and from the notebook edits, I will be choosing my GPU here. Okay, I will save it. From edit, from notebook settings, and you can choose GPU. And here in my Python, actually in our Google Colab right now, Python is 3. Python 2 is not used in Colab environment right now. Actually, this is the decision by directly coming from the Google Colab. Here we have edit, file, and view at kind of settings here. Sometimes we will be using this runtime here. It is in Turkish right now in my desktop, but it is runtime. So sometimes we will rerun everything. Whenever it connect to the actually virtual machine, right now we are connecting our Colab environment to virtual machine, it will start. And whenever you see this, it is connected. It is saying it is connected. Sometimes if your actual data or the data for processing is too big, sometimes it can be big, then your RAM is not enough for this. Or the processing time is limited with 12 hours in the Colab environment. So Colab is giving you for 12 hours working for the virtual machines in the servers. So if you want to continue working more than 12 hours in a day, actually in one day, you are let to use 12 hours of Colab environment freely. So you need to pay for pro version if you want to use the Colab environment non-stop. But 12 hours is enough for using this kind of experimental works. If it is an actually much more deeper work or a professional work, rather than using Colab environment, maybe using your desktop machine with a better GPU, better hardware design can be useful for us. Okay. So right now I want to show the interface a little bit more. as again Sema Hoca said, we can open a code line here or a text line. You can remove from text line or code lines from here, or you can directly come here in the code line. You may choose one of them, text or code. Let's assume we have a text here. Whenever you have a text here, you can double click here. When you press hash and when you write something, for example, print, this will be your heading right now, okay? So it will be containing your cells inside this heading. And when you go into content page, okay, content page, your chapters or the sections, let's say sections, will be listed inside this content, okay? So right now print is...
Yeah. Can Hocam, can you switch the Google Colab into English?
Where can I do this?
Araçlar.
No.
Oh, no. Yardım. İngilizce olarak görüntülü.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, right now everything is English. So you can see notebook settings here, and it is hardware accelerator is GPU selected, save, and you can see here is the connect part, okay? So we can connect like this. Here is the content page, and here you can find what you want to look for. We will see what's happening here in the variables, and here is our folder. Right now I have only sample data, but after a while we will connect our Google Drive here in the Colab, and we will start to see the Google Colab Drive files inside the this folder inside the Google Colab. First of all, as always, we will start with printing hello world, okay? This is just a simple printing action. But what is happening in the printing action? I will close this part. So when it comes to printing, you should put the parentheses in terms of the syntax of the Python coding language. So if it is taking actually a variable, but it is a string variable, you have to put the quotation. I will be introducing you some basics of the data types, but right now, as it is a string variable, we are putting quotation mark. If we do not put the quotation mark for the string data types, when you print, it will turn to an error, and it will be showing the errors in the Colab environment. As you see, it is a syntax error, invalid syntax, and it is showing the location where this error is appearing, okay? You can directly look for the Stack Overflow, by the way, to search for the error, and maybe you can find your related possible solution for your error, okay? Right now, we know what is the error. Just putting your quotation mark will be solving this problem. You may put just a single quotation mark as well, but both of them must be same, okay? Double or single, it doesn't matter for the string. It will be working. Hello world, just put an exclamation mark. Yes, this is the first part of our coding. So right now, I want to talk about a little bit variables. What is variable? Actually, variable is kind of a container. Merely, this is not a variable. This means nothing for the Colab or the Python right now, as it is not a string. Right now, I didn't put this string quotation marks. So it is not, it means nothing for the Python environment. But when it comes to equal sign, right now I can assign a value to the variable. So it is kind of a container of a value. The variable becomes a container of a value. For example, 15. So right now, Colab and Python remembers the A as 15. When you go to your variables here, it will be directly assigning A, and it will be giving the data type of the variable. So it is an integer. So you know what is integer. We have some basics of the data types. What are those? Integer, float, and string. I will go like this, but first of all, there are some rules for defining your variable name, because there are some legal variable names and illegal variable names. For example, if you put a space in between two letters, this is an illegal variable name right now. So you cannot do this kind of a variable naming, okay? You cannot put any space, or you cannot write like this as well. This is not a variable name, or you cannot put a number here in front of your variable. But at the end of your variable, you may put a number, okay? So what are the, right now I will put some illegal variable names. And for example, starting with a number. These are some illegal variable names. All of them will turn to a syntax error, okay? So just wait for a while. I'm not, okay. So I can continue right now. So after understanding how to give the names of the variable, we may continue with the actual data types. What kind of data types we have? I will open a new text here. I will put an hashtag data types. And these data types will be integer, int, float. These are the basics, string, okay, integer. Okay, so right now, as you see, I created a new section in the content, so you can directly move from here to here as well. So before continue with the data types, how to put a comment for your code line. Hash is creating a comment line, so you can write your comment here. So you will see in the actual training of the style again, there are too many comments and different kinds of syntax. So you can follow directly like this. You can put three quotation mark to put your comment as well. You can write your comment here too. But do not forget to put this, okay? Right now, both is working. Sometimes what is happening, actually, for example, you have this. You can select directly all of these code lines and you can directly push the quotation mark. And it is directly turning it to a command line, okay? So you are disabling actually. When you run this, it won't be giving any error right now. It is just a text, okay? So, yes, let's start with the integers. A is equal to 10, for example. So A type E, A, will turn to an integer type, okay? We can print the A as well after we defined the variable. Maybe we can try another one. B is 5.15. So when we check the data type of B, we will see that it is a float number. So what is the difference between float number? As you can see, here is the decimal point. After the decimal point, if you want to give a precise value for your variables, you need to use the float numbers. So the float numbers is actually taking more memory. Do not forget, because they do not have, for example, in the integer values, we do not have any extensions for these values, but we have extensions. So they are taking more memory from your hardware space. Do not forget. When it comes to a bigger amount of data, so being a float or an integer will directly affecting your performance of the algorithm actually. So if you want to be precise with your values, you should use float. Also, double is creating much more precision, precise values. Double is another type of a data type. So, but right now I won't be getting inside this. So this is float, this is integer. We have one more type, for example, C is equal to, for example, John. Right now I write my name here, but it is string, so I cannot define my name without quotation mark. Otherwise, it will just turn to an error, name error. John is not defined. Right now, it is just seeing it as a variable right now. It is saying that C is equal to the John variable, but it is not defined. John is not defined. For example, let's do this. Right now, I am converting John to a variable, and John is equal to 5. C is equal to John. So whenever we print the C, we will directly obtain the 5 again. But right now, this is not the thing that I want actually. I want to convert John to a string variable. So I will just put a quotation mark here. So right now, it won't bring any error. So it will be directly typing or writing John here. So far, do you have any questions? And we can look at our variable types here. Okay. Do you have any questions? So I can continue for a while. So I want to convert, for example, some data types. Let's create a new data. This is the float. We know that this is float data. I want to just convert this data to integer, for example. Then just putting the int and parentheses will be directly converting this d type to the integer. So I will print this d here and printing d like this. Both of them will be different. Let's see what will happen. This is float data. This is integer data right now because we converted it to integer. But the vice versa is applicable as well. For example, it is 15. So I want to convert it to float. So it is e. So I will print the integer e as a float e. Let's see what will happen. When it becomes to converting the integers to float, it will be putting a 0 after the decimal point, okay? So what we can do more, we can convert the numbers to strings as well. str and d, for example, print str e. Right now, both of them will be string, but it is not explaining, the results are not showing if it is string or not. So we can look at the type of these values. I'm just putting the functions inside functions. That's all that I do here. Class string, it is written the type right now, okay? So we can convert different data types into different ones, but you cannot convert the string value. For example, we have a string. Let's call it string. I want to convert the string, for example, integer. Print int string. So it will give an error because the string variable cannot be converted to an integer or a float. It is not a number. It is not a numeric value. So invalid literal for int with base 10 string. Actually, it is not a number, it is saying. So you have a value error here. So it turns to an error. So you cannot convert your strings to some numeric values. What we have more, actually we can do some directly using the Python as a calculator as well. It is simple. Basically, it is calculating every single line like this. For example, this, if I didn't make any wrong thing, yes. If you want to take a power of something, for example, it is directly calculating again. These are the results. But besides of them, we can do some calculations with strings as well. For example, print. Let's define our strings. Hello. And the b variable is John. So you can directly add these two strings together, A and B, okay? So it will be printing hello, John. But as we didn't put any space in between, you may put a space here too. It will be hello, John. Or you may put in front of this a space. Or what we can do, we can put a space here. Right now, I put a space in between the quotation mark as it is string. These are already string. So string can be added with the string variables too. Actually, this is not an addition. This is called concatenation of the strings. So we make kind of an addition here. But what we can do more, we can multiply a string value as well. For example, 3 times of hello you want to type. So what you cannot do with this point, for example, a plus b plus 3, then it will give an error because this is a numeric value, but this is a string value. So you cannot create this kind of a concatenation. But if you convert this number to string, you will directly obtain your result. Okay, right now 3 is not numeric value, but it is a string value. It is just a text value. Okay, so I will continue with the input function, but I can wait for some questions if you have. I will directly continue with the variables which is defined with input prompt actually. Right now, as you can see, all the variables values are defined inside the cell, but maybe you want to get some values outside of the cell. So you will ask to the user, for example. So it is input. The function is called input. Please write a number. Okay. So after this, print X. When you run this, when you push a number here, right now, as you can see, we gave the variable value outside of the cell. The function is input function. So here, the important thing is that when you look at the type of the X, it will be a string value actually. Okay. So even we put a numeric value here, it is still a string value. So what you have to do before input function, you have to convert it to integer value or float, whatever you want. Actually, if you want a string value, it's okay. But if you want to use a numeric value, it's not okay. So you have to convert it to integer before writing your input. So this is int right now. So why we are using this? Let's make another variable. This is the same thing. And I will be making an addition function here. So right now I can add, for example, any number to any number. So it will give a result to me. But if I do not put this integer value here, let's put, what will happen? Let's see. It will be adding as a string right now. So do not forget, if you want to use them as a numeric value, then you have to convert the variables data types. So after this, I want to look at some Boolean values. What is Boolean? Maybe I can put a text here. Boolean, it is another data type. So for example, A is true, is a Boolean. So when you print A, it will be directly giving you the result of a true. So after this, what we can do, for example, A can be equal to 5 smaller than 2. Right now, we know that 5 smaller than 2 is a false definition. Let's say it is a sentence, kind of a sentence. It is a wrong sentence. So when you print A, it will be printing a false result. Okay. Right now, A is a false definition. Okay. So when you convert it to a correct one, for example, like this, so it will turn to true. So you can use this as your condition as well. Before continue with the conditions, I want to show you list objects as well. So what is list? I will be creating a list object, for example, my list. So here inside the list, you can line too many different values, okay? For example, and some repeating values as well. So when you print the list, print my list, it will be printing all these values inside the list. So your list can contain any types of data, by the way. For example, it can be string, it can be Boolean, it can be a float number, it can contain all different data types together inside a list. But for example, you want to choose the first number of this first value of this list. Actually, if you use Grasshopper before, I think some of you used or have experience with Grasshopper, it is totally the same logic with the grasshopper lists actually. The index number 0 will be directly giving the first value. So you may choose the first value, for example. Sorry, I made a mistake here. My list 0. If you want to print this, it will be directly printing the first value. So this is the first value. You may give a negative number. So this will be the last value, okay? So -1. Or you may give 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth index number will be true, okay? So this is actually indexing. This is called indexing. So you can make a slicing as well. For example, this is called slicing. So it will be taking the value from true to till the end of the list, or it can be starting from the 0 value, the first value, and for example, until the second value it can take. So until the second value, so it is not containing or including the last index value as in this slicing part. So this is called slicing. This is called indexing. Let's put it. This is indexing. Let's put some comments here. Oops, I made a mistake. Indexing. And here is the slicing part. Okay. So I will continue with the statements right now. If else statement, just I will give one example about it. Statements. Okay. So what is the statements? For example, I have a value as A is equal to 105, B is equal to 75, and C is equal to 80. Right now, for example, our if statement is, when you start to write an if statement, you can directly write as if, but put a parenthesis here for your statement. A is greater than B. And right now I'm putting an AND gate here. So both conditions must be true, it is saying, and B is greater than C. What this means? You have to put this character here to complete your syntax actually. You have to go other line, you have to go to the other line. So it is saying that if A is greater than B and B is greater than C, then we know that print A is the greatest number. Well, what kind of other condition can appear? I will create another condition, elif. If we have just two conditions, it can be else, but we can have three conditions. A can be the greatest number, B can be or G can be the greatest number. All these variables are the volunteer for to be a greatest number. So I will put more than two conditions. So before closing your condition with else, you can continue with elif conditions. So I will put it here. A is smaller than B and B is smaller than C. Right now, print C is the smallest number. C is the greatest number, and one more. But right now, no need to write the condition because all conditions are completed right now. B is the greatest number. Okay. So right now there is a problem here. I made a mistake maybe. I do not know where is the B is not the greatest number here. Yes, I made a mistake somewhere here, but what is happening? I couldn't see. Do not need to solve this right now. I will run it again. A is greatest, B is greatest. It's weird. Right now it's becoming weird. Maybe I can put it A. It can solve the problem. Yes, right now it solved the problem. Sorry for this. So I can make a for loop and we can complete this session if you want. I can make a for loop here. And yes, I can make a for loop. What is for loop? For example, we have a list here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, right now, as I said, I is defining the elements for each element inside the A list. So when we print the items inside the A, we will find all the items separately right now here, okay? But what we can do more, for example, you can directly index of these elements as well. How we can do this? Again, I will use the same list, but right now I will take the length of list. What is the length of list? I will just look for it. It is 8. So it is saying that 8 elements we have inside the list. So I will use this length for iterating. For I in range, I will give a range, and our range will be 8. Not 8, len 8. What is this range? I will shortly explain this. For example, print range 6. Print range 6 is creating an interval in between 0 and 6. So if you for I in range 6, for example, so you can directly print the i's inside the elements inside this interval actually. So you can see it has 6 elements starting from 0, okay? So instead of typing the length of the list here as 8, I will be directly automatically taking from the length A. So I will be using the list length. After this, I will be printing the index numbers with the values, corresponding values to the index numbers. How I can do this? I is our index number right now inside the length, because length is defining the number of elements. It is starting from 0. So if I use the I as the element of the length interval, it will be the index of our values. So afterwards, I have to convert it string because I want to add 2 integer values, okay? This is a string. I will put a plus sign and I will put an empty line. And right now the value is coming from the A list. How I can do this? String A, right now I will index it. So for each index of I inside the A list, it will be typing inside our loop. So it is AI actually. So when I print this, you will see index number 0, value 3, index number 1, value 4. It continues like this. So you can add, for example, here, index number is this string. And you can put another one, value is this string. I put too many different strings here. And here is that. Index number 0, value is 3, okay? So you can create this kind of a loop. This was just a brief definition of loops, what is doing actually loop actions. So right now I want to continue with NumPy arrays. NumPy arrays are really important. Right now, after defining really briefly the Python part, I will continue with a little bit deeper part. NumPy library, scikit-learn library, matplotlib library, or pandas library is used for machine learning related problems. But while actually manipulating the data or making some operations on the data, you have to know the NumPy array, because the computer is reading the data set as a NumPy array actually. When you import an image in your algorithm, it is reading it as a NumPy array. Actually, it is really similar to the list objects, but the main difference is that it is really efficiently working actually. It is much more faster. We can say the main difference is the efficiency of the arrays, okay? So they are containing less memory as well when we compare with the list too. So we are using arrays as our data sets will be containing too many data points. It will be really vast amount of data. The NumPy array will be solving this kind of efficiency problems, okay? And we can do matrix operations on NumPy as well. In list you can do, but again, it is not efficient. But in NumPy library, it is directly giving you some matrix functions that we will be directly using in the actual machine learning algorithms or in the generative adversarial network. Maybe we won't see, but behind of the scene, it will be directly calculating these matrices. So matrix calculation can be done with NumPy library as well, okay? So what we have to do, we have to import, actually, first of all, I have to open a NumPy part, and I will write. First of all, I will import my library as NP, NumPy library as NP, okay? And I want to import another library. Maybe I can use import image. If I will do some manipulations with image, maybe I have to use how to convert a NumPy array. It is really similar to creating list, but let's check it. NP dot is calling some function. You can see the list of functions here. This is a syntax for Python, and you can call array function, okay? And when you type the array inside of it, let's create a vector right now. This is just a vector. It will be an NumPy array. It is really similar to the list. I didn't run this part. Right now I can run. Yes, it is an array. If you do not want to see the array part, you can directly print E. So it will be just giving the numeric values. As you see, this is an array. But what we can do, for example, you can increase its shape dimension. I will put, for example, another vector here. Right now, we will call them vectors. Vectors are the feature lists of our data set. Right now, let's assume that we have a data set and our feature lists are directly coming from an Excel file, kind of, and we are listing the values inside our vectors. This is the first observation. For example, this is the second observation. Let's assume something like that, but it is not working like that. This is simply what's happening. Right now, we created a matrix, actually. So what we can do, we can increase the values inside of this list or the array. And I want to increase the dimension of this array as well. These square brackets are creating the dimensions for our arrays. I will directly write the print E, for example. Print E, we have print E as well. Print E dot shape. What is shape? We will see. Print E dot number of dimension and print an ED type. Okay. So right now, when I print, we will see all these results. Let's see. This is our matrix, actually. As you see, we created our matrix, and the shape of our matrix 1 to 3 to 3, and our dimension of the matrix, as we have 3 values here, as you can see, we have 3 square brackets. The dimension of this matrix is 3, and the type, data type, is integer 64. So sometimes these are really important because sometimes you are feeding your data in a different format. For example, you can directly check your matrices. But right now, I want to go much more deeper to show one simple operation on image, okay? And afterwards, I will complete all these parts. And image to array, for example, array part. And I will, first of all, we have to use this. Actually, whenever I create a Colab environment, first of all, I'm always connecting with my Colab drive file. Okay. How to connect my drive inside Colab drive and drive and drive.mount. And I will give the location where it will be connected, G drive. Let's look at our files. Right now, we do not have any G drive file here. Inside, I have only a sample data. I will run this code and it will prepare it, but it is asking for a permission, first of all, connect to Google Drive, and it will use your own account, and I will let accessing to Drive. Okay. And after a while, it will complete connection. Yes, mounted at drive. Right now you can take a look at, it is my drive right now, G drive, my drive, and I will take a look at my folder for this tutorial part. What was it? Digital Features 00. Yes, it is here. As you see, I created previously a file in my drive. The name is this one. And what I want, I want to convert my image. What is my image? Actually, I found an image of the Le Corbusier Villa Savoye. Maybe we can see here. Yes, it is a little bit big. So I want to convert this image to NumPy array to show the basic logic, how it is working. How I can do this? Actually, here I import the function of image, image library from pill library. I will directly use this image. It is really easy to use. For example, image is equal to image.open. Right now, I want to open this image. You have to go these 3 dots and you have to copy the path. Okay, we will use this copy path functionality too much. I will copy directly the path here, but do not forget the path, directory path must be in between the quotation mark. Right now, we opened our image actually. You can directly look at your image format or image size or image mode. Let's look at these ones. Yes, it is a JPEG file, JPEG file, and we can see the resolution size of the image, and it is RGB. Okay, so we can get this kind of related information from our data. So right now, I will just convert this to NumPy array. How to do this? Right now, I will directly, we opened the data, we opened the image data. I will directly use the NumPy library as array. So I will be just converting my image to array data, okay? Right now, I can just take a look at the data.shape and print data.number of dimension, print data dtype, and also print data.size. So whenever I run this code, it will take our image and it will convert it to the data. Data is a NumPy array right now. As you can see, it is taking the resolution and the channel. Channel information is directly coming from the RGB. So we have a 3-channel for the color definition, and we have the locations of the pixels, and the dimension of this matrix is 3-dimensional matrix, and our D type is U integer 8, as it is an RGB actually color value. RGB color values are defined inside the U int 8. That's why actually it is giving this, and this is the bit or byte. Right now I may make a mistake, but it is the memory size, how much memory it needs actually, okay? So when you print the data, you will see the array of our image. So we converted our image, this Le Corbusier Villa Savoye image, to an NumPy data. Right now we can use this data for our training. So that's all for the Python part for today. So we will continue, after a while, we will continue with the training part of our generative adversarial network. But before, if you have some questions, I can try to answer. Do you have any questions?
I have a question. May I ask?
Yes.
I want to know, we should upload all photos into Drive, then we can get these matrices for them?
Yes, surely. Actually, there are different methods. You can directly connect to your desktop. You can connect your Colab to desktop, but it is easier when you upload your files into Drive. You have to upload all of your images into Drive, and then actually it doesn't matter. When you work on your desktop, you have to put a command or a function here that is uploading your photos to your Colab. So it is really easy to follow your files here. So we are mostly putting our inside the files, the images, and we are reading the images from there. Okay, Pega.
Okay, thanks.
Even if it is thousands of photos, still you need to do this. Actually, I bought an extra space for my drive because it is creating a memory issue after a while.
Yes.
Is there any other questions? No? If everything is fine, we can complete this part of the. Thank you for listening.
So everybody has a zip file right now, or?
Yeah, we didn't make it zip yet, but we have the pictures cropped and resized.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
renamed also.
You renamed it. Okay. Okay. Great. So how many of us have a data set today?
I will have it in 5 minutes because my computer crashed during the resize process, so I should I will try it again, but it will be okay in 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to understand the situation right now. That's why if you can answer it also from chat, that would be great. Jaylin, of course, you don't need to raise hand.
I just raised my hand to we have a data.
Ah, okay then. Okay then. Okay, Alexander have it. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 group.
We are very curious to see that.
Yes. Okay. I have it already. Okay, Gito has it. About 200. Okay, great. So everybody has it. So maybe we can check out them. Can you share your screen? Maybe we can let the participants to share their screen so that we can see. We had to use version plugin. Okay, doesn't matter if you have the data sets. That's great. So participants, you can share your screen whenever you want. We just want to look to the folder. What kind of objects you choose, what kind of relationships you thought about before starting the StyleGAN session.
I can share my screen.
That would be great, yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, do you see it?
Yeah, we do. Mm-hmm.
So we have them now in separate files, but for now, should I open it one by one, or you can look?
No. Yeah. That's
okay, they are on drive, so to load them.
Mm-hmm. So everybody converted it to 1024 to 1024 pixels, yeah. Right? Okay.
We did.
Okay.
So it's a bit slow.
No, not at all. Okay, great. Okay, so you have candles, you have different kind of objects, like. Mm-hmm.
And I have a toy in the end. I don't know if it will work the same typology or not. I will show it to you. It's a small figure.
Mm-hmm. So all of these were in your house then?
Yeah.
Those are household objects.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
From my living room.
Okay, from your living room. It's more specific. So you will actually train the AI about the objects of your living room. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, for example, is this one counted or not? I don't know.
Well, this can't be, because I mean it needs to have a whole, or when I look to the other objects, I mean this can't be edited. You can edit, but it will be something else if we're talking about homeomorphism.
Okay.
Yes. But I think you're able to open the box there, right?
Yeah, I can open it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would be better, if I open it.
Okay. Okay. Tissue, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this one is not from my living room. This is the blender thing.
This is interesting, yes.
Yeah, from the kitchen.
Okay. Okay, the tissue box also without the tissue.
Yeah, without the tissue.
Yeah, that would be better.
And this one will be excluded, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah.
It is cute though, very cute. Don't get it wrong.
And it has a chair, a small chair too.
Wow, this is even cuter. Okay. Very cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was mine, and two chairs are the same also, like same logic with something with a hole in it. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Yasser. So check out your data set in terms of topology and relationship again.
Sure. Yeah.
And sorry, anybody else? You can just, when Yasser stops, you can just start sharing your screen.
I can share if you want.
Of course, please do not ask, just directly share.
Okay. Can we see now?
Yeah, we're seeing it.
Actually, when I started, I have an idea that can I reflect a daily life of designer, and for example, it's like coffee pots and some pencil pots as like this. But then I couldn't find all of the stuffs because I'm preparing all my stuffs. I'm going to move from my house.
Okay.
So this is all I can.
Can you click one of the images? They look a little bit dark. Can I see the resolution?
Oh, okay. You can see now.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm not sure the angle of the.
They look good. They look good. I think.
Is it work or not? By the way, and I just am curious about. Is it work with some letters or texts?
No, just the text. I mean, it is actually image data, so it doesn't matter if it's a text or what. So we will see how it works. Okay. So. Okay. Okay, I'm very popular today. My phone is ready. Okay, thank you. So can we do this very quickly? Alexandra, Gito, if you can share it very quickly, that would be great. Also, Rajita.
Yes, I will share. I have two folders. Like from one side, I took some food, fruits and vegetables. Here they are, and from other sides I took some packages, jars and lids where we store that food. So the idea is to combine of the content with their so-called external protective shell.
Interesting. We will see if it will work. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, nice chapter. Yeah, nice chapter. You have very good 456 images there. Okay, great. And Gito?
Okay, I'll share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
So I try to photo the tube or circular object.
The objects are really interesting. The backgrounds can be a problem, Vito. I think AI will learn more than the object about the background. It is too complex, and we will see the effect though. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm curious if the background is pattern, we can see the result is capable for it.
We will see the background, but it will actually affect the result. It can be interesting also.
Hocam, I think it might be very interesting. So we might keep this case, you know, like,
of course, we will keep it.
Very like teaching experience, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, we will keep it. By the way, it will be able to read the background again, but it will transfer also the information there to the objects. Okay, that will be the case.
Okay.
Who is sharing?
I'm Rajita.
Rajita, okay. Rajita.
This is for me and Susanna.
Okay, great. 347, okay, not bad. Okay, then. So everybody has data right now, which we feel.
Share my screen too?
Pekka, of course. Sorry.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Toys. Yes, I tried different things with Jenga, and I tried to build volumes with a hole with it. And then because of the lack of time, I mixed it with some objects in my house too.
Okay. How many data you have without those objects?
I don't know, because this morning it was released. I think maybe 30 objects times 8 photo. It would be near 200, I think.
Okay. Are all the generated toys with Jengas, are they topologically same?
Yes, I try to just make one hole in all of them.
Okay. Then. Is there anybody?
I saw that there was one like an arc, so that's why I want to ask the same question of Ayşegül as well.
Where?
It was the blue one, like complete blue.
I think you can draw on my screen where it is, because I can.
Can you just go up a little bit more? Like I can. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
Is it okay, or Konoja?
Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anybody else who wants to share his or her screen with us?
Yeah, I could quickly share. Yeah. So I kind of did it with shoes, and yeah, and my teammate Yuan, actually he worked with household objects, and we kind of missed it there. So he has those pots with one opening, and he got all these shoes. So I don't know how that would match up.
I took some photos about, but I didn't have time to process them. So I will give a presentation of the photos I took.
Juan? I think that's good. I mean, that will be also interesting. Very interesting.
I found some tea apps at home to check it.
You have glass ones. Well, that will be also an experiment. When we have too many glass like that, what will happen? Yes.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, I can make a comment about the shoes.
Of course, Orkun Hocam.
Can I please, like, if you can share again?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would like select like more like colorful ones, because like in that case we are like able to see, I mean, not we, like the computer will able to see the holes like better. But for example, in the black ones, you know, the hole in it is also black, so it's disappearing somehow. So
I see.
yeah, maybe like it cannot, yeah, maybe this part, you know, it might not help, or like it might be the opposite way, so it might like let it be struggle, you know. So maybe you can add like a few more, I don't know, colorful ones and exclude the black ones.
Yeah, I can capture more images today.
Yeah, because only the problem is to, yeah, the problem is like it's going to, the deep learning model is going to capture the features. So if it couldn't capture the feature, you know, it will be like confused. So that's my comment.
Sure. Yeah, I get that point.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oops, I was with, okay. I think these are all great, and we will have experiments, very interesting experiments at the end. It's obvious. So now I will share my screen, and we will pass to the phase where we will start training our AI with the data you collected. And now I'm sending a link to you. Please do not open the file. I'm sending a Colab link to you. If you open it, do not change anything inside of it, okay? Okay. So first of all, when you open the file, just come File and say Save a Copy in Drive. Open another file, close the one you just opened, close the link that I sent you. You will have the copy of CG2 Ada PyTorch HOMEOMORPHIC formations. When you finish this, please direct me. Everybody is good? Everybody copied it? Yeah, Sarah did it, okay. Susanna did it, great. So do not stay inside of the file that I sent you. Well, yes, Alexandra, great. Pallavi, great. Okay, so now I'm closing the copy. I will work the one which I sent you. First of all, I give credits to the Colab definition, but also I wanted to give the credit to the Stalgan to Ada, the official PyTorch implementation by Tara Karas, and there's a group actually, and you can find more information. You will remember all this information from Can Hoca's presentation yesterday. So you can directly reach to the papers from this website. Now I'm gonna actually in the definition, I added as those as links. And you can also find other related data and files in terms of PyTorch. And another link is about Derek Shoes. So this is the files which is related with Google Colab. So he prepared a Google Colab definition for Stalgen to Ada. And now we are working on those. That's why I wanted to first of all share this. And maybe you know GitHub from the beginning, but maybe you don't. That is why GitHub is a platform where many people are sharing their knowledge and their all information in open source platforms. So I think it's a very, very important platform at the end. And here, as you remember from the previous tutorial, Google Colab tutorial, when you open the definition, you will see lines. And first of all, we need to set up. So there are some hidden lines here. When you click on them, as you see, when you click on them, there are some cells here, and you have already experienced the cells in the tutorial phase with Can Hoca and Sema Hoca. And first of all, please press play and just press play. And then it will say connect to Google Drive. When it says choose your account and say allow. And wait for a while. And don't do anything in the code. Okay, so in your drive, inside of a folder, which you will name it, open a data folder, as I did here, data, and put your data set as a zip file. Do you see this file here? As a zip file. So zip it, do not make it RAR, just zip. And upload it to Drive and direct me through chat. I can pause the recording here because we will wait for a while. Okay. Then I'm coming to install repo, and each cell comes with an introduction here, and this is very explanatory, and it's a very clean, definition. And please, of course, it will take time, zipping and uploading to Drive, but zip it and upload to Drive, so it will take time. But while it is doing that, we are doing something else. So in the install repo, this one is installing the Stalgen repository from GitHub to your Drive. So as you see here, you are seeing the path definition. And in the path definition, it will directly, do not change anything. It will directly upload the Stalgen to Ada PyTorch version to your Drive, okay? And I'm just clicking on it. And another thing is, after uploading one time, it doesn't matter if you will upload it, a second time. It will just, replace the files. So it is just installing the necessary code here. And you will see the process here. Am I recording?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you will see a yellow tick here. That means it's working. Do not pay attention to the error right now. And for the next cell, do not run it. I just kept it here. I didn't erase it because sometimes the repositories are changing. So when it's changed, this will update the version. So do not run it. Okay. And how is it going with the drives? Did you upload it? Are they still processing, or did you upload the data set to the drive? Do you hear me?
They're writing to chat.
Okay. Okay.
I think some of them are still uploading.
Okay. And how did so everybody was okay with install repo, right? Everybody installed the repository, right? Jaden, you don't need to share it, but okay, since you shared, okay. By the way, in your drive folder, now you should be seeing a Colab notebooks file. And you should be seeing your Colab file under this one. Check out the placement of this file. And after repository uploaded it, you should see a folder like this in your drive, Colab SG2 Ada PyTorch. I will re-show it. So first of all, you should see a Colab notebooks file, and you should see the definition, the copy definition here under this file. And then after executing this, after playing this cell, after executing this code, you should be seeing Colab SG2 Ada PyTorch file. And here you will have some files, and when you get into results, it should be empty. Direct me. Yes, we are seeing it, or no, we do not see it. Please direct me.
Sorry, how to navigate to the results folder, if we can see that once again?
Yeah. Here, this one, double click on it. Then Stallion to PyTorch, double click on it. And then inside of it, you should be seeing results. But it should be empty in yours.
So I'm able to see the folder StyleGAN to Ada, but I'm not able to see a folder called results.
Oh, sorry, we haven't played. Okay, without results also is good, but you're able to see the file, this one, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And how's it going with the data set? Did you upload it? Okay. How is it going? Did you upload your data to the drive? Okay, I will just stop sharing again and I'm checking on you. Yes, sir.
Yes, Hocam.
Did you upload the data to the drive?
We missed the process. I think we'll do it again from the record.
You will just open a folder in Drive and you need to upload your data, the photos you created as a zip file to the Drive.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, eyes on the screen. Here's my voice. You need to open a folder in your Drive and you have to upload your photos, your data, which you generated yesterday, and you need to zip it and you need to upload it as a zip file to your Drive folder. Okay. I think Gito, is it still uploading? Gito was uploading. Oh, great. Alexandra done. Rishita done. Great. Yes. Okay. Gito, is it still uploading? Already done. Huh. Okay, now we are moving on. And here in the train model, I generated a form here, as you can see here. Normally, you don't need to generate it here. You can also directly get into this code and make it. But for now, do not get into code so that nothing will change here. Please, when you open this icon on the left side menu in Colab, you will see your drive here. If you are not able to see it, just click on this icon. And then open your drive and find your data folder, the zip file here, and just left click on the three buttons here and copy paste. Come here, Control A, just copy paste. Before you train the model, you will see again a very good explanation here. The dataset path is the path to your zip file, as I showed you just a second ago. And we have two more variables here, which are very important. Resume from means you will train the model, and sometimes the model stops and you are resuming it. From where? You can't start it from the beginning. Well, when it starts training, actually, if you remember, it is working on the images, so you will see some data related with that. Networks are emerging, and there are some augmentation levels. So for each training, this differs. So there are ticks here, tick 1, tick 2, and as you see, the augmentation level is changing. Do you see? And when I come to the Colab definition, first of all, when I start in the beginning, as we talked yesterday, we said that we will use FFHQ 1000 to 1000 data sets, which is Flucar Faces HQ data set. Do you remember it? So we will use this as a base. So we are not starting to train the AI from scratch. Also, we could have start from training from scratch, but this will take much more time. And now just write FFHQ 1024. Also, this is important because we could have generated 512 or 256. These are resolutions. So we are just writing the resolution here, 1024, FFHQ 1024. And for the augmentation strength, now, as I showed you previously, it should be 0 because this is the first time you are training it. It should be 0. Just click play and it is done. Okay? Do not change anything here for now. And when you click play, now you started to train your AI. If it started like that, wait for it. Okay. Now it is talking with you. It's saying I'm loading the training set. I'm trying to construct the networks. And now, in the Stalgan to Ada folder, you should be able to see a file while it is setting up. Do not open the file yet. Just wait for a bit. This is a long process. Of course, I will stop it after a while. Okay, we will look at it, Jaden. Now start training. Here, it will create automatically a folder, and underneath you will see the fakes. If you remember from the generator and discriminator, these are the initial fakes. You can see some of the distortions on these fake images. And for each network, under this folder, you will see the fakes one by one. And you will see some ticks. So this happened in 1 minute and 29 seconds. For the others, it can take more time. For example, let's check out this one. So this was the data set that we showed you. This is the training from the data set that we showed you. And those are this is the last network. So it will start transforming the images one by one. And when the networks emerge, you will see a set of fake images like this. Those are iterations. So we are seeing the iterations of training. So and in the log.txt text file, you can see how long it takes here. For example, the second thing emerged in 36 minutes. First tick, sorry, starting from 0. And this one emerged in 1 hour and 11 minutes. So, and the last one took 18 hours. But I showed you the one with the 12 hours, okay? So for example, while you're training, maybe the program stopped and you had a network. By the way, let's see the network. Here, this is the network, PKL file. So when the program stops, just come here and check out the augmentation level of this one. And if you will resume the training, you just need to come here. Now I'm stopping it. If you're gonna resume from somewhere, I'm gonna write the augmentation like that. And for resuming, I'm gonna open Colab PyTorch, get into it, and results. And here I will take this network, copy path, and I'm gonna just use this one. And I will hit training again. Oh yeah, Hito, thank you. That's an important information. Please do not use any spaces for the folder names, okay? Now it started training again. And as you see, it automatically created another file. And now we will check out the fakes. As you see, it is taking over from the last step. It drop off. So it will train on the created network. And this is the initial network it has. We will see more networks under this folder. And if you do not have Colab Pro, it can be really hard sometimes to train it. First of all, it will take, because maybe 10 hours, 12 hours, and your laptop or your PC will run during that time. Go to the settings and turn off your sleep mode, okay? And just click never, never, never and ever go to sleep while it is training. Then just close it. And another trick is Colab Auto Reconnect. This is This is a plugin for Colab, Google Colab. So Colab Auto Reconnect, just add it to Chrome. Okay. And when the training starts, when you see this folder in the drive, just click on this one. I'm saying, for example, minutes, and then press start. Now it will train it for 19 hours, for example, and do not touch anything, just leave it like that. And it will train it hopefully for 19 hours if you have Colab Pro. If you don't have Colab Pro, the training can be, disrupted from time to time. So be prepared for resuming your training from the point you left. Also, you can find the important information under training about resuming, because tonight, or starting from now on, you will train your data set. And the things which I already told you, you can also find them here. So train counts, I didn't talk about train counts. You don't need to change it for now, but if you want to keep a track of your training process, you can change it. Also, I did put it here, but you can see the train count here. By the way, instead of FFHQ 1024, we could have used different, networks. You can find ready steady networks in Google. So you can explore different data sets and different networks by yourself afterwards. But for now, we are using FFHQ. How is it going? Yeah. Orkun Hocam, are you also training?
No, Hocam.
No?
I'm not training.
I tried to execute Can Hoca's tutorial while he was teaching.
I see. I tried to upload my file. Actually, it was uploaded before, so I was shocked actually how it happened. But you're right actually.
I'm getting different errors.
You're getting different errors.
Yes. I need to.
Okay, can you share your screen, Jayden?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, can you go to your drive?
Yeah.
Okay, can you go to your drive?
Hi, my drive actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you have the data set zip. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, again to Google Colab. So you copied it, right?
Yes, I copied that.
Mm-hmm. Can you go up? By the way, can you change the name of dataset? You used capital letters. Can you make it small? Yes.
Okay.
Rename it. You can rename it directly there.
Here.
Yeah. From yeah. Okay. No, just refresh it.
Yeah.
You can refresh from, do not refresh Google Colab. Okay.
I'll start. Okay, I'm trying again.
Go up so that we can be with you all the time. Go up. En başa git Ceylin. En yukarı çık. En baştan başla bütün prosese.
Tamam. Buradan devam.
Yes. Yes. Click on it. Wait for a while. It hasn't started. Okay. It is still working.
I am not sure, but there can be a problem with the data. I see something there. Your channel is not 3, but 4. So your actually data set has RGB plus alpha values for the transparency. It seems like actually for me, I see on the screen, but while you are preparing your data, maybe there's a problem. But try to run it and let's see again the error, if there will be an error about it.
Okay. And also I can try on by own. I don't waste your time. I can check the other things. By the way, my data has a different DPI as a 19.6 as a problem.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a problem also.
Okay.
It has to be 1024. It has to be 1024.
Okay, I will change it. Thank you.
But if you make it bigger, then you will lose the resolution. So try to work on the original photos, okay?
Okay.
And also, can you check the info that Janoja has already given you? In one of the photos, can you check the color mode? So if it is not working, you can add another step for converting it to as RGB.
I can't see the values. Where can I check it? As from Photoshop?
At the end of your running cells, the error, in the error part, it is saying where the error occurs, and it is written your tensor shape is 4, not 3. I think it is directly coming from the alpha values. I see that actually. But you have to take a look at this. Hocam mikrofonunuz kapalı eğer konuşuyorsanız.
Evet ya bayağıdır. Yes, I have been talking. And I was saying, great, nobody answers me. Okay. Pallavi, can you?
Yeah. Actually, I'm seeing this message. Which
okay,
is...
can you open your, can you share your screen? Did you copy the definition?
I can share my screen.
Okay, if you didn't copy it, then you are working
I've
somewhere
copied
else.
it, actually. Maybe I'll just quickly share. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you get in your Drive folder?
Here. Or the.
Yes. Stalgan. Yeah. Results. Yes. You are able to see it. So.
Yeah.
Is open with private outputs. Outputs will not be saved.
So, I'm supposed to be seeing more text if I'm understanding.
It is actually training. It is going good right now. But in the chat line, you said this notebook is open with private outputs.
Yeah, I see.
In the edit actually notebook setting, you can find, I think, yeah, from there, omit code cell output, you can uncheck and save. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I get it.
You're welcome.
Okay, I didn't get it. Okay. Okay, Rajita, can you share your screen? Rajita.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Just all objects. Okay. Is there a space between data and all objects? Can you erase it?
There is no space as such.
I think. I'm seeing a space between data and all objects.
In your dataset path.
Yes.
Yes, there. Actually, you showed it. Dataset path. Yes.
Yes. Just, yeah. Play again. Okay. Now play that one. Why? Why it's not able to find the file? Okay, change the name of the zip file, go to Drive. Just write AA with small letters, yeah. Or AB. That's the, yeah. Okay. Okay, take the path. Okay, retry it. Oh, you have a, can you come to data? But no, there's no problem. Again, there's a space between them.
Click on 3 dots and rename it. I think there is a space there.
Yes.
Rename folder. Yeah. There is a space.
Yes.
But right now, yes, uppercase. That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Go down. Down, down, down, down, down. Yeah, it starts, okay? Okay. Okay. Habibe, how is it going?
Excuse me, may I share my screen?
Yes, Pega. Of course, of course.
Can you see? Is this working right?
Yes, yes, it is working good. If you see a tick there, okay, don't move anything. Don't move anything. So everybody, if you are seeing a tick here, that's good. We are very happy. Okay. And if this is turning like that, wow, voila, we are very happy. It is going on right now.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So, and if you go to your, again, I'm showing it again. When you go to the file Colab SG2A, the PyTorch, when you get in here, you will see the results. And in the results, if you see some like fakes initial, then this means that it started training, and it will all, install all the training under this folder. Mine is also training right now. So the second tick can arrive maybe an hour later. Sometimes it can take half an hour, 2 hours. So that is why, do not forget, go to Chrome plugins, write Colab Auto Reconnect. Just click on it, add it to Chrome. Here it is, click on it. I have already played it, but I will replay it for you. I'm always writing minutes. For example, this will train for 10 hours. And as I showed you before in the settings, select for sleep, never and ever. So it will not go to sleep when you left your PC or laptop alone, and open this one, and it will go on training. By the way, I highly, if you will train many things on your own, I highly suggest you to just use Pro version. It is becoming very handy. And for 20 hours, 24 hours, if everything goes right, it will go smoothly, and you will train your AI without any interruption. In Turkey, dollar is too high. So for Turkish students, normally it is like, it should be $9, something like that. So, but in Turkey, dollar is high. So yeah, it's up to you. Are we good?
Yes.
Yes, yes, I see. Yes, you are good. Okay. We can have a 10-minute break. I will just stop recording. I'm recording it right now. Okay, so when you got tick 1, this doesn't mean that you will have a network. So this is not equal to network, okay? So fakes are not directly linked to tick 1. So the clusters of tick 1 after, for example, 10 or 12, you can start to get, some networks. Normally, We are using, by the way, PyTorch. STADA, you can find different kind of definitions and algorithms. For example, there is one with a TensorFlow library, but in the TensorFlow library, we used to see the networks also in the text log, but here we are not seeing it inside of this text log, but afterwards you will see one by one there, but they are not linked to things linearly. So we need to have more ticks to have our network.
Thank you. Yeah. Good.
And to GitHub, when you write Stalgen, you can find many other. Sorry, I will write here. You will find other, implementations, and you can also get into forums when you have issues. You can get into discussions. And if you are not able to find anything from inside of the GitHub, I highly recommend you to write to Google directly. For example, PyTorch, this error, okay? And you can just check out again some forums, what is going on, and you can read them. And believe me, from the forums, you can learn very, very much about the issues and how you can overcome with it. Okay. Do you want me to show the resuming once more? Jaden, did you start training?
I try to prepare again my dataset.
Okay.
It's because of my dataset properties.
Okay, please write from Discord, okay? We will try to help out. Habibe? Habibe is not here, maybe. Okay.
I checked I checked Habibe's datasets also. She has also a little bit problem, as same with me.
Okay.
So, I have a question. Do you think I can stop it and start at night or something? Because I will use my PC for some heavy works during the day. I don't want to keep it like together, the training and the other works. Is it okay if I stop it and start at night?
Well, if it is a good, laptop, I mean, you are not forcing your laptop very much because you are using Google Colab. You get it? You are using you are not using laptop directly.
But it is working on the GPU, isn't it?
Yes, but I mean, if you interrupt the training for a long time, you will not train it very much. So you should train it at least for 12 hours, yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm thinking from 10 to 10 a.m. or something like this.
Okay, and also just be careful with the plugging your laptop. Do not forget to plug in to the electricity.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and also resuming. Then you want me to show the resuming one more time?
I think, yeah, it would be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm coming here. Yeah. Now I'm going to do folder, results folder, my last training folder. And do you see this log text? This one, open it. and you will see again the augmentation levels. Okay, you see it? So
yeah.
I'm just taking this one, and I'm coming here. I'm refreshing my drive, and in results, I'm taking the last network I'm seeing here, and to resume from, I'm copy and pasting this network. And oops, I forgot to take this one. And for augmentation level, oops, I'm writing this and I'm doing it like that. Then I go on training and directly come here. You will see that if the sync constructing networks, it is good. Now it is setting up everything. Exporting sample images. And then it start training. So it started training. When it starts training, go and check the results folder. And you will see it will initiate the training again.
At the end, how many results will we have approximately? Like how many new objects will it generate?
We will look at them tomorrow. Today you're expected to just train it. Tomorrow we will work on testing the model. So here we are generating a model. Okay.
Yeah. So it will not generate directly the new object.
Yes, you will not see any images yet. Tomorrow we will work on the images. So hopefully everything will go smooth with the training. That's why today is important. That's why I'm telling you, please try to train it, as much as possible. And if you have any trouble, contact via Discord, okay?
Sure, yeah.
So I think for today, that's it. Do you have any questions or do you want anything to ask us?
I have a very random question.
Yes, of course.
Instead of these everyday life objects, if we take pictures of 40 different faces, each one 10 pictures or something, will it generate a new faces like in the website, like this person does not exist?
Yes, exactly. But it's actually, this is a very limited data set. The thing is, Stallion 2 Ada is designed for the limited data sets, especially. But I mean, for faces, I mean, for the Flickr faces, FFHQ or those data sets, for example, have really very, very, very much data inside of them. Yes,
okay.
So our data set is very limited. So if you really want to have a good training, I mean, a realistic result at the end, I recommend you to enlarge your data set. If your aim is, getting some realistic results like objects or faces, then you can try it. But other than that, if you want more creative results, ambiguous results.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
If I may ask another quick question.
Yes.
You mentioned about the different models that are there for even the Ada model. Like there are some implementing the TensorFlow and some implementing PyTorch, like we are looking at the PyTorch.
Yes.
Just curious, like what is the difference or how do we go about choosing one? If you can.
Well, the definition which I showed you, the last Stalgan to Ada, is very clean, and also the Colab definition Derek Schultz, prepared, the one that we are using. It is really clean Pahlavi. I will show you, for example, another definition. I will just stop this one. Oops, I stopped and restarted. Okay. Just wait for a moment. I'm trying to find. By the way, if you open more than one Colab, it will tell you that there are too many open files. So you just need to abort them, okay? For example, this was the workshop from another workshop which I attended, and it was using TensorFlow library. And in the TensorFlow library, there was a pre-processing data phase. So you were preparing the resolution there. This can be handy. You're preparing many things inside of this one. You are renaming the file and you're converting the image from, PNG to JPEG. So there was more steps, but you need to, in the TensorFlow, you need to create TF records, and it's taking too much time. Maybe they also upgraded those things. I don't know right now, but this is taking too much time and it was working more slowly. So the performance between this one and that one, in terms of my perception, this is working very fast and very clear and clean. Also in terms of definition. This is also working good, but also there are some updates inside of the definitions. And from time to time, do you remember the cell that I showed you? I told you do not run it, but sometimes the repositories can change. This is very new. That's why I told you not to play with it. But when repository changes, you need to get the latest and information from those repositories. So you need to be careful about what kind of definitions you're also using. And also there is a Stalgan 3. We are using Stalgan to Ada. Maybe you can check out also Stalgan 3 on the GitHub if you want. If you want to give it a try. And you can understand also differences between them. Stalgan 3 and Stalgan to Ada, it is different in terms of, for example, image detail generation, and you can find some articles on it. For example, on beards, on people's beards, on faces, the differences is so obvious. Maybe after the workshop, you can have a more in-depth look if you're interested in it, Pahlavi.
Thank you so much for giving those resources.
I want to ask about the training. Are we must stop it manually or it will stop on 12 hour?
No, it will not stop in 12 hour. If you have time, if it is going 13, 14, do not stop it. I mean, if you do not need to. And if it stops, you need to reboot it actually. You need to resume it. And but if you are using Pro, it will not stop in optimized situations. It will not stop for 24 hours. After 24 hours, it stops, but sometimes it can collapse. Gito.
Okay.
So if you are not sleeping, I recommend you to check out it from time to time.
Okay. And how about the data text for training? This will be big or not for the image and the network? Because
you will.
that is almost full here.
Your drive is full.
Almost.
You need a more drive space.
Okay.
For tomorrow, you need more drive space because there will be images and videos. So we will generate those. We will generate single and multiple images and videos tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. And for the Pallavi's question, Pallavi, maybe you can check out this online web article. It is comparing cell GANs between each other. And also, if you write StalGAN PyTorch versus TensorFlow, you will find more results accordingly.